Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The most talked about thing at the moment is LeBron James' injury. How long will the player be out? Will the Lakers be able to survive without LeBron James? The news given by sources within the Lakers is that LeBron James will miss at least 2 weeks, but he will be re-evaluated tomorrow, and this period could take up to 2 months to heal from a groin strain. The Lakers have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and other good players who will have to take responsibility and lead the team to win several games, until LeBron James returns. Because in the playoffs the Lakers will only be successful if the duo LeBron and Doncic are healthy. LeBron James has been ruled out for several games in the NBA, due to a serious injury. LeBron James will be sidelined for at least a few games due to a groin injury he suffered in the Los Angeles Lakers' 111-101 loss to the Boston Celtics on Saturday. The Lakers star is expected to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks due to the ailment. There's some hope that James' absence won't be for much longer than that, as he reportedly didn't hear a pop sound when the injury occurred. James suffered the injury on a spin move while scoring a bucket in the fourth quarter of Saturday's game. He walked gingerly to the huddle during an ensuing timeout and then barely moved before making his way to the locker room with trainers. He finished with 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists as the Lakers had their 8-game win streak snapped. While James didn't return to Saturday's game following the injury, the 40-year-old downplayed any worries that he would be out a significant amount of time. Link. Not much concern, James told reporters. Obviously, I'm day-to-day. I'll look at it each day and see if it gets better, and take the proper measures to see what I need to do moving forward. This is not the first time James has dealt with a groin injury. Most notably, he missed 17 straight games after suffering a tear in his left groin on Christmas Day in 2018. James said Saturday night that he does not believe his most recent injury is as severe as that one. "I've been there before, and I know what type of injury we're dealing with," James said. In his 22nd season, James has shown little signs of slowing down, averaging 25 points, 8.5 assists and 8.2 rebounds per game. Last week, he became the first NBA player to score 50,000 career points, postseason included. With James in the locker room, the Lakers cut a 20-point, fourth-quarter deficit to single digits. But Jason Tatum and Brown scored Boston's final 12 points to preserve the win. Luka Doncic had 34 points and 8 rebounds in his first game in Boston since he and the Dallas Mavericks lost Game 5 of the NBA Finals as Boston clinched its 18th championship. The Lakers, 40-22, fell to third place in the Western Conference standings after Saturday's loss and face a tough upcoming stretch. LA will play 8 games in the next 2 weeks, with 5 of those matchups coming against teams that are currently in the playoff picture. That includes a home-and-home against the Denver Nuggets, who lead the Lakers by a half game in the standings entering Sunday. "It doesn't matter who's in the lineup, we have to play our game," James said. "We've had guys in and out of the lineup the majority of the year. And we've had guys in and out of the lineup the last 6 weeks. Nothing changes." The Lakers will next visit Brooklyn on Monday and will likely be without James that night. Luka Doncic fine after hurting back in fall. The Los Angeles Lakers saw their win streak come to an end on Saturday night against the Boston Celtics despite a strong effort, 34 points and 8 rebounds on 11-4-22 from the field, from Luka Doncic. But both of the Lakers superstars walked away from Saturday's loss with injury concerns. LeBron James suffered a groin strain and is expected to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks, maybe more. It's his second groin strain as a member of the Lakers, and could take him out for a chunk of the remaining regular season, with the Lakers having just 20 games left. Doncic, as well, didn't appear healthy by the end of the loss. It was very clear throughout the course of Saturday's game that Doncic was feeling some discomfort in his back. He was asked what that came from and if there was any concern moving forward, via Spectrum Sportsnet. "I've been feeling it since that fall, so just dealing with it. But I'm fine. I'm good." Doncic took hard falls in both of the Lakers' wins against the New Orleans Pelicans and LA Clippers, so it's unclear which fall he is referring to and when he started feeling that pain. But either way, he clearly felt good enough to play against the Celtics, and played well despite the clear discomfort. And with LeBron now out for what could be an extended period of time, it puts some added pressure on Doncic to be able to play. But, as always, the Lakers are going to be as cautious as possible, especially with how much breathing room they have ahead of the play-in tournament in the Western Conference standings. If this means that both James and Doncic miss some time, then that's what the Lakers will do. But, for now at least, it seems Doncic is going to continue playing through that discomfort. Luka Doncic getting more comfortable in LA. Everyone was caught off guard by the Dallas Mavericks trading Luka to the Lakers before the deadline, including the superstar himself. At the time of the trade, reports indicated Doncic had just bought a house in Dallas and had no desire of leaving the Mavericks. With that being the case, it has naturally taken some time for Doncic to get used to his new surroundings and team. One thing that has stuck out to Doncic is the Lakers' chemistry though, which has helped him with the process of getting acclimated. Doncic is clearly starting to get comfortable, and according to recent reports, he has leased a house in LA and has already begun thinking about his long-term partnership with the Lakers. How the Lakers can survive the next few weeks without the face of the league. James is expected to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks due to a groin strain suffered during Saturday's game. Take a deep breath, Laker fans. I know it feels like the sky is falling right now. LeBron James suffered a strained groin on Saturday, against the hated Boston Celtics no less, and now he's expected to miss at least the next 1 to 2 weeks. Given his age and where we are on the schedule, it would be easy to overreact about what this means for his health moving forward. Let's go back just 2 years, to 2023. The season was, in many ways, similar to this one. A slow start led to a trade deadline revamp. The Lakers raced out of the gates, winning the first 3 games that James played with the new, post-Russell Westbrook roster by 34 combined points. But in that third game, on February 26 against the Mavericks, James suffered a right foot injury that sidelined him for exactly 1 month. He played in the final 8 games of the regular season, and that was ultimately enough. The Lakers made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. As his brief partnership with Luka Doncic thus far has suggested, there's not going to be much more of an acclimation period. The two are ready to win together. All that matters, at this point, is that James is ready to go by the middle of April. If he is, the Lakers should be fine, perhaps not Western Conference favorites, but still one of the most dangerous teams in the field overall. The broader question now is what happens while he's out. The answer, probably, is some degree of short-term pain. The Lakers hold the number 3 seed in the Western Conference by only 1.5 games over the Memphis Grizzlies and 2 games over the Houston Rockets. Their 5-game lead over the Golden State Warriors is probably safe, but that will rely on health elsewhere. The Lakers have the 6th hardest remaining schedule in the NBA, including 1 head-to-head matchup each with Memphis and Golden State and 2 with Houston. None of those games, however, come until March 29, so there is a good chance that James is back in time to play in them. There are pros and cons to slipping outside of the top 3, if that is how this plays out. The obvious danger is that it means an earlier matchup with the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder, who are having one of the best statistical seasons in NBA history. Of course, after Doncic dispatched them in the second round of the postseason a year ago, the Lakers might not fear them all that much. The obvious benefit, in all likelihood, is that it makes a first-round matchup with Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and the similarly reloaded Golden State Warriors less likely. As hot as the Warriors are right now, a 3-game lead with fewer than 20 to play is substantial. Golden State's likeliest slot is number 6, which means getting out of number 3 helps avoid them. Don't let records fool you. There isn't a team in the NBA that would rather see Curry and Butler than an inexperienced Rockets group in the first round. For now, the idea will be to adjust to life without James, and the Lakers are fortunately better equipped to do that than most teams would be. Doncic, obviously, has no shortage of experience when it comes to leading an offense single-handedly, and Austin Reeves has quietly been excellent when James has missed time. Over the last 2 seasons, he has averaged 21.7 points, 6.1 assists and 5.1 rebounds across the 14 games he has played without James. Ball handling, thankfully, is not an issue. If Rui Hachimura can make it back before James does, which appears likely, then all the better. As offense-centric as a roster built around Doncic, James, and Reeves figured to be, the Lakers haven't actually won with offense since their blockbuster trade. In the 12 games since Doncic debuted in purple and gold, the Lakers rank number 15 on offense and number 2 on defense. Maintaining average offense with Doncic and Reeves soaking up more possessions seems doable. That's especially true given the regression they're likely to experience. Since Doncic arrived, they've shot only 36% on wide-open threes and 32.4% on open threes. The former would be a bottom 5 shooting mark in the NBA and the latter would be bottom 10. The Lakers shot multiple percentage points better before Doncic arrived, but have better shooting on paper with him. There's room for offensive growth here through regression alone. The flip side to this is that the Lakers have also been remarkably lucky when it comes to opponent shooting. Teams facing the Lakers post-Doncic's debut are shooting 34.4% on wide-open threes and 30.3% on open ones. That shooting luck defensively is probably more important in the grand scheme of things because of the roster the Lakers are currently playing with. Remember, the Lakers ultimately didn't land a center at the deadline after nixing the Mark Williams trade. Jackson Hayes has held up as well as could be expected since then, but he's only playing around half of the game. Two-way center Trey Jemison has impressed in a backup role as well, but there is not a traditional defensive anchor here. The Lakers are thriving defensively because of their effort, their basketball IQ and their size and athleticism on the wing. Losing James, who has been stellar defensively of late, is a big blow there. Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent have all been quite good defensively, but all play substantially less than James does and lack his near-encyclopedic knowledge of essentially any action any offense has run over the past 2 decades. Losing James means losing another rangy wing and putting more of a defensive strain on Doncic and Reeves when their offensive roles just got more difficult. The name of the game right now, especially without consistently elite rim protection, is probably going to be turnover generation. The Lakers have improved markedly on this front as the season has progressed, jumping from 20th to 12th since Doncic first suited up for them. The Lakers have played very aggressively defensively without Anthony Davis, and that's going to have to persist now that James is sidelined. They are fortunately a pretty athletic bunch, and JJ Redick has proven malleable when it comes to game planning. As promising as a James-Doncic partnership looked on paper, the Lakers surely understood that the bulk of Doncic's work as a Laker would likely come after James retired. Now, they'll get their first peek at what a fully Doncic-centric lineup could eventually look like. That's not the worst thing. It could prove to be a valuable data point they use in tweaking the roster this summer, or even further down the line. How viable is a Doncic-Reeves duo as the core of a roster? As confident as the Lakers are in Reeves' future, they probably need to figure out relatively soon if he's going to be good enough to serve as Doncic's sidekick after James is gone. In a few weeks, they'll be closer to an answer. The Lakers were the hottest team in the NBA when James got hurt. Recapturing the magic of the last few weeks when he returns won't be easy, but they have proof of concept at least. If James is healthy by the playoffs, they believe they can play with anyone. As frustrating as this injury is, there is at least hope that he will be ready when it counts.